Welcome.
Thank you.
How you been?
Good, you?
Yeah, good.
Great
good,
to be
good.
here.
We are super happy to have you.
Tell me a little bit about how the KOL story started, but let's start at your roots in Mexico.
I don't have like this kind of like really beautiful grandma story of like my family cooking, but I went to a supermarket when I was 15, and I just saw this Ritz cookie box, and in the back of it was this recipe of crab dip, and then I chose to do it. I bought some ingredients, and then I went back home and I just cooked the recipe, and my mother liked it, my brother liked it, and my dad liked it. So I went back to the supermarket, bought more little books of Italian cooking, and then I cooked everything in these little books.
Everything?
Yeah, everything, every single page. And I remember it used to take me like the whole night to just chop one onion, one carrot, and one celery. I had to cut these things the day before. But anyways, then I started working in an Italian restaurant, see if I like it, and I remember that for the first time when I was in this, when I opened the door to the kitchen, love at first sight kind of thing. Everyone crafting something for one goal, the teamwork, and the smell, the people making pizza, the bread, the pasta, everything was just so inspiring and beautiful. And I remember from that first day that I kind of felt that I wanted to do that for the rest of my life. I thought that like French cuisine was the new thing. So then I moved to Paris. I was in Paris like trying to work in different restaurants, and then they told me like, no, what are you doing in Paris? You should go to Spain, to like El Bulli, Mugaritz. And then I moved to Spain, to Margarit's, and then they told me like, actually the new thing is not Spain, it's Copenhagen, it's like the new Nordic cuisine. And I moved to Copenhagen, and then they were like, why are you here? I said, yeah, because it's a new thing. And then they were like, actually the new thing is Mexico, Latin American cuisine. So then I think as soon as you know what is new or what is innovative, it's already gone.
Yeah.
So then you kind of find out that the only way to find or reach or touch innovation is to try to make it yourself, or to pursue it yourself in a way that you express yourself. After the restaurant is that we use Mexican inspiration and a Mexican approach to British ingredients, but we do use some ingredients from Mexico. And the idea is that we can support people by doing that. So one of the ingredients that we bring is the corn. And actually Mexico is the birthplace of the corn, like 7,000 years ago. It was the first corn founded. And even before the pottery, the center of indigenous Mexican cooking is this system that is called the milpa. So you have the aromatic herbs growing like in the outside, that protect from insects, from certain type of insects, and then you have the pumpkins that protect from animals to come. Then you have the chili that gives minerals to and nutrients to the soil, and then you have the beans that grow around the corn, like in a circle, and that protects from like birds and stuff. That are all part of this system that they grow and help each other from the kind of like outside world, and then the corn in the middle. So then all that is the core of Mexican cooking, and the corn that we use in the restaurant, it comes from indigenous communities. So we work with a company called Tamoa, that is a collective that they go visit different indigenous communities, and they buy all their corn in a fair price, because they struggle quite a lot in selling indigenous crops of corn to the market, because it's quite difficult to cook. So then like that we can use it all here in the restaurant and support people to be able to understand who is growing that and who is making it. That applies not only on the ingredients, but also like in the pottery, in the wine, in the mezcal, you know.
As a chef, you are also fascinated by wine, and you fell down the rabbit hole of wine. So how did that happen? What was like the first moment? When was like your light bulb
I think I was always, like when you work with restaurants, you always have some sort of relationship with wine. That is always the sommelier there, and suddenly maybe you're his friend and give you a wine to try, and you're like, thank you, and you have no idea what is going on, and then you go to restaurants and then you have these massive lists, and you're like, well, I've been in Spain, this one, you know, you have literally no idea what is going on. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's such an overwhelming world, and suddenly I got this job that was for a natural wine importer in Italy that is called Metelli. They're based in Venice. When the dinner was happening, and the idea is that someone will come and pour their wines, some producers, winemakers. I was like, wow. And they will be natural winemakers. It's like, wow. And then I remember that this woman that came and gave me a glass, and I remember I try it, and it smells like flowers, and it tastes like really fresh, and I was like, what is this? And then she was like, yeah, that's our local wine. I was like, what? But I never saw a wine this color. I never saw a bottle of a wine this color. I never smelled something like that. And she was like, yeah, so it's our grape that is called Domaine. That is a Slovakian grape. And then and I love it. And she was Agnes from Slovakia.
Did that lead you then to start playing around with flavors of cooking, with wine?
The idea came with the inspiration of this cooking with sour orange in the southeast of Mexico. It has the flavor between an orange and a lime, and they marinate things with that. They make sauces with that. You squeeze it in the fish. That kind of like connotation, it kind of reminds me to the orange wine, and then also like the kind of like just like a really casual approach of like you're drinking this wine, you have the dish, you're like maybe this should be together. It was what inspired me to start cooking with orange wine. The inspiration of this dish, it's called mextlapique, and it's some sort of a version of like the indigenous Mexican version of a papillote. So you will put the fish and vegetables inside of corn husks, and then you cook them over the comal or like a flat cast iron pan, and then everything kind of like cooks together in its own juices, steamed together, and they get the flavor of the corn. And normally you will put white wine, but then because I wanted to like add this kind of like citrusy floral notes, I just get the orange wine.
And how did it feel then, after having done that amazing dinner and the experience with Chardonnay where you first met them, to actually go there? How was that for you?
It was just amazing to see how their approach of wine, and how they believe in wine, and how serious they take the result. And then from that, basically the rest is kind of history of like me trying to find out more about what is natural wine, and going to wine fairs, meeting different people, going to wine bars, and trying to like really dig into like what it is this world, what is the meaning of what this represents, more than just it is about the personality and the essence of the people that make it. What is their approach to wine? And then you can tell this one is made by Agnes and Micho, or this one is made by Christian Shiva. I don't know, like this one is their stamp, you know, like wine and serving a wine to the table is not about the notes or what we think that is the profile of the wine. It's about the people behind it, you know, and like telling the story, telling where, you know, like if it's in Istria in the mountains, or if it's in, you know, like in Slovakia in this farm. What is the family? What is the background of the people that makes this juice? And that is what you because that is what you're drinking.